Hello. I woke up today and I realized something yesterday when I was talking to my brother that what I'm doing right now isn't the work. Once I post it and once I'm talking like honestly about whatever I'm thinking about, outside of the video is where the work happens. It's like this emotional shadowing happens where I am becoming comfortable with the fact that I'm being seen for all the different parts of myself in this current moment. But then also by talking about it, I'm shining a light on all the stuff which my mind is holding me back from, or entangling me from. I'm untangling this web basically, and it's amazing how much my communication has improved since I started doing this, like outside of the videos. Like this sometimes like doesn't show the way that I can communicate. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. My mum just woke up, that's why I keep looking out that way. I'm just wondering if she's coming out, so I keep getting distracted. I yeah. Yeah, yeah, I was speaking to my brother. I hadn't spoken to him in a while. He's been busy with his girlfriend, and I just spoke and spoke and spoke and spoke. I just didn't know, like, I didn't know how to shut up. Like, it felt like this water tap had just opened, and honestly, the things that I was saying, like, I was like, holy shit, I need to be videoed right now. The way that I was talking, it was so beautiful, and I was like, damn, like, I'm actually getting better at this. And yeah, I think not only is it going to make me better in real life, because naturally when you're on camera it's different. You're not being stimulated in the same kind of way as when you're talking to someone. But yeah, yeah. I realized also that I need to get into the mode of do what the fuck I want, because yesterday I did what the fuck I want and inspiration has just come to me like it's nothing. Like when I was like thinking too much about oh, I need to do this in my routine, and I need to like implement this and think about this, and I need to work this thing out, I was going nowhere. I was resisting how I was actually feeling, and then I was trying to think about the things that I needed to do in this really linear, thought out fashion, and I felt lost, I felt overwhelmed, I felt confused. And I was getting into this mindset that something was wrong with me, that I wasn't okay the way that I was, if that makes sense. Like the fact that I wasn't doing all the things that I was thinking I should be doing means that I'm not okay the way that I am, sort of thing. Like that's even though you're not telling yourself that, that's how you're making yourself feel. A good example of this is I used to go to the gym with my brother, My brother's a few years younger than me, but he's very strong, and he does like kickboxing and all this other stuff, and it was a humbling experience to see my younger brother grow stronger and be able to beat me in a fight. Like he's just a strong guy, and oh yeah, I used to go to the gym with him, and and I found that yeah, I found that when I was going to the gym with him, because I thought I needed to do that, because I was like looking at him thinking like, damn, he's like, I want to be like him. I started doing that, and it just didn't feel right. Like I didn't actually want to be there. I didn't enjoy it, whatever. Months and months go by, and then I realized, like, what do I actually I didn't think about that. I was on a walk with my dog, and then for some reason I started running, like impulsively. I just started running, and then I used to run with wellies on, and then every single day I'd be running, but with wellies on. It was like winter, and then I reached a point where I was like, I need to stop running with wellies. I should probably just run in some running shoes. So I bought some running shoes, and then from then, every single day I went out for a run. I started to love exercise then. Like before, it kind of felt like, oh yeah, I need to exercise because like that's the right thing to do. I need to get big. What I noticed is, by following something that I love, I now just naturally want to do other exercises. Like I naturally, because I'm sort of losing weight and becoming more physically active, that I'm like, I look toned, but now I kind of want to look a little bit more, you know? So I'm like, let me do some push-ups, let me do some pull-ups. And it feels like I'm figuring it out, and it works for me. Like it feels good for me, and therefore it's sustainable. So if I was like a fitness coach, I would be like, what do you want to do the most? Like, which exercise do you feel impulsively excites you the most? If it's badminton, no hate, go for it. You know, like absolutely go for it. Like if that's what you want to do, go for it. Play badminton every single day if you can. Join a badminton club, and then do that for 6 months, and you'll be in a completely different place to where you are now. Not that that's your intention, but you're just going because you love it, and you love how it makes you feel. You love how the feeling of how you feel after it, if that makes sense. Like I love running, but I also love the way that it makes me feel after. Not because of the fact that I did it, but just it puts this like stress on my body. I'm sweating, and then I'm not as stressed. I think this might be Dave Goggins getting into my head, that about like doing something that makes you feel stressed, and then you don't feel stressed in everyday life. Like life feels like a walk in the park, because you just yeah, you did the stressful thing. So after my last video, my brain, as I was saying, because I was doing all the stuff that I wanted to do, my brain was just really inspired. I don't know why I'm moving my hands so much, but I just woke up. I felt really inspired, because I was actually following my heart and I was doing what I wanted. The thing that I realized that I'm really, really passionate about is the protective layer that we put around ourselves. And I wanted to talk about this because when we were children, we had all of like these natural inclinations. We were really weird, or we had like quirks and strange things about us, which made us unique. And as we got older, when we went into school, I'm getting distracted, it's okay. When we got older, when we got into school, we built up a protective layer around these things, and we dropped a lot of those things that made us unique because they weren't seen as cool, or if we did, then we would be bullied or whatever. We went into this system which made us have to mold into being like everybody else or being like a certain ideal. And not only did this make us lose touch with ourselves, like we created this protective barrier, this little barrier that stopped us from being judged. But then as we get older and we leave school, we have this little protective barrier that stops us from being our most authentic selves. And what happens then is you have all of these blockages that stop you from attracting the people and the opportunities and the job and the ideas, whatever, that are actually truly right for you. And I started to notice this, that once I started to realize this and shed who I thought I was, like a part of my brain which wants to keep me safe doesn't want me to post this kind of stuff because it thinks, oh well, what if this person from school thinks of me in this way because they knew me as this person. I love myself, but fuck that person. Like, allow me to grow, you know? Like, allow me to evolve and change, and I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be the same person that I was in school. I want to grow, you know? And if anything, the person that I was in school was a built-up idea of who other people think I should be. Before, it's quite funny. It's not that funny actually. I went to a festival and I went to a festival, and this was around the time when I was about 17, 18, and I realised that girls liked it when you had an Essex accent. That's where I went to school. Well, not really. Anyway. And I saw one of my sister's old friends. They've known me since I was a child. And she walks past and I'm like, you alright? Not like that. That was exaggerated, but I picked up this accent in order to be cool, in order to be like everyone else. It wasn't actually cool. It really wasn't. I just picked up this accent basically. I just wanted to be like everyone else. I wanted to fit in. I wanted girls to find me attractive. I didn't want to be well spoken. Whatever. I can't even remember what I was talking about, but by me doing that, creating that accent and this persona, I created this protective barrier around myself. I basically told myself, you're not okay the way that you are. Like, I didn't know how to love myself at this point. So I created a protective barrier around myself, which didn't allow me to be my most authentic self. So I went to a university that didn't suit me. I went down a very self-destructive path, actually. I think that's a topic for another video. I think this video is about the building of a protective persona, which I think we need to break. Oh yeah, I remember. There's this really amazing story which was told by Tara Brach. It's about this massive grey statue of this Buddha. And yeah, it was a massive grey statue, and then one day there was this natural disaster and the grey statue broke and it cracked, and then through the cracks you could see this gold, like it was like the biggest gold Buddha statue that's ever been in the world. And and then they broke it all off, and they were like amazed. And it was said that the Buddhists, that like the monks back then, created this creative barrier, this protective barrier, in order to prevent outside influences from hurting or breaking or damaging the gold Buddha. And this is the same thing that we do with ourselves when we go through school, and it's natural. I'm very impressed with the people who don't succumb to that. I'm quite an easily influenced person, like, and but what I mean by that is I'm so inspired by people. I'm sensitive and I'm receptive and I'm all these things that, like, if I am around a certain type of people, I become those people after a while. I'll tell you an embarrassing story. I went to Ireland once, and I stayed there for 2 weeks with my cousins, and they used to always like take the piss out of the fact that I spoke in such an English accent, and they all had like their Irish accents, and then, oh, it's so cringy. My parents came to see me after like 2 weeks, and I had a fake Irish accent. I had a fake Irish accent, and 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 yeah, and I remember just, yeah, it's so embarrassing. I've never actually told that story. I remember my sister told that story, and it made me so embarrassed because yeah, I don't know, it's just embarrassing. I don't know, it's funny. I can't actually remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. So I think releasing the protective barrier that we create is really important, because life is constantly mirroring us. It's constantly mirroring who we are in this current moment. So if you're not being your most authentic self, which is something that you need to work towards, it's not something that you realize and you just wake up and you're like, yes, I'm just going to be my most authentic self. It's like, I believe it's this shedding process and this becoming process by trusting yourself more and following your heart and having this connection with your inner child. Because when you're younger, you used to get bored. Like, now, not only have we got this protective layer, but we also have so many distractions that pull us away from ourselves. We need to allow ourselves to get bored in order to have these natural inclinations. So that's why I say to meditate or to be present with yourself, is because you have these natural inclinations when you get bored. It's the same thing as like when you hear of people who fast, they don't eat, and then their body starts to tell them what they actually need. Our bodies are incredible like that. I think we have like this inner wisdom, this inner knowing, that once we get in touch with, we stop avoiding ourselves, we start to realize what are our natural inclinations, and then the things that we thought we were start to drift, and we start to become this thing. And this is something that I feel really passionate about. I feel really passionate about this, as you can tell. That's why I'm doing all of this. I realize that the more I talk about this stuff, the more inspired I feel, and the more passionate I feel about wanting to help myself and other people. And I'm only at the beginning, and so much has changed in 6-7 days, but I can't wait to see what I'm going to be like in 100 days, or in a year's time, or 2 years time, or 3 years time, or 5 years time, or 10 years time. It's just going to be good. So yeah. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want today. And yeah. Thank you for watching. I love you.